quick note before we start the video. If you want to see more content like this video, please let me know in the comments below, and also please like the video and subscribe just to know if you do like it, because these videos take absolutely ages for me to edit with little to no skill. So yeah, just saying that. Thank you very much guys for watching, and enjoy the video. This took me a while. This journey begins in the character creation menu, where an angry little man by the name of Robin Everywon is created. This little fella has his life planned out. He is destined for success and failure, but ultimately, he desires dinars, and a lot of them. Robin is of Britannian descent. He grew up as a neglected forester, and after his 20th birthday, he set off on his quest to pillage and raid anything and anyone. Despite having a non-existent jawline and a gigantic nose, Robin is not to be messed with, as he served for 2 years in High King Caladog's army of Britannia, where he reached the ranks of a highborn warrior, despite not being born of high nobility. His sigil and colour, you may ask? Well, a simple bow, coloured green and red. Green for Britannia and red for the blood of his enemies. His first adventure will consist of heading to the local city of Maranath, where he will sell his measly crippled horse and smelly saddle for a meagre 265 dinars. But hey, dinars are dinars as far as Robin's concerned. With his determination and long-term goals set out, he ventures onwards to Seanon. Robin is faced with his first challenge of many, a small band of looters whom were lurking outside the gates of Seanon. They had their eyes set on plundering the meagre amount of cash Robin has, a bit of pocket money from his mummy, and a couple coin from his horse and saddle. Luckily for Robin, his fat nose was able to smell out the danger that was encroaching close by the second, and in a last-ditch effort, booked it to the marketplace to sell off his small heater shield and buy an extra quiver of arrows in preparation for the fight about to ensue. Fortunately for Robin, and unfortunately for the looters, he was accompanied by a nobleman of Britannia, along with his warband of soldiers. They made quick work dispatching the small group of 6 looters. Now, Robin kinda just stood by, shot a couple of arrows, swung his axe a few times, and claimed he brought justice, when really it was anybody but him that brought the enemy to their bloody end. After Robin's triumphant victory, he marched back to Seanon and found at his disgust that there was absolutely nothing for him to sell. From that day forward, Robin avoided assistance from any other nobleman and became an even bigger greedy bugger. On his journey to Carbanseth, Robin's skills would actually be put to the test. Nobody to cower behind and no excuses. A tiny group of 5 looters. Surely he'd have no issues removing them, right? Robin moved left to a spot of higher ground and started helplessly showering the rock-throwing peasants with arrows. Despite being at an advantage weapon-wise, Robin was swiftly outnumbered and encircled by the coin-hungry bandits. He unfortunately soon found himself face down in a pile of earth and shrubbery. He was put in shackles and taken prisoner. After being hoisted around for a day and a half, Robin finally broke free. Injured, winded, and his ego deflated, Robin optimistically moved forward, only to be swept up in an ambush by 12 mountain bandits. He was helpless, but decided to grow a big pair of balls and decided that death before dishonour was the greater option, even though there was no honour for Robin. He attempted to conjure up some confidence by celebrating absolutely nothing, in the hope that it would bring some faith before his inevitable defeat. After taking down 4 of the bandits, killing 2 and injuring the others, he was dragged around until he found his freedom. And, in a piss-take fashion, 8 brigands attempted to rob Robin for the 3rd time, so Robin simply complied and paid the fee of 159 dinars. free at last, Robin took some time to rest in Seanon before discovering there was an ongoing tournament at the arena. Robin entered his name in hopes of success. However, that couldn't be further from the truth, as he was swiftly eliminated after his teammate was defeated. After being humiliated in front of hundreds for his interesting appearance and embarrassing performance, Robin went to burn off some steam, quite literally, by heading to the nearest village to buy some hardwood to aggressively burn into charcoal in the town smithy. After his temper tantrum, Robin rested some more, before reflecting on himself in a mirror and improving his various skills in hope that he will someday actually plunder gold. After increasing his bow and athleticism, Robin set out and had a quick redemption arc and decided to take a chance and fight 4 mountain bandits. What could go wrong?
On my orders!
Arrow after arrow, the bandits actually fell, until the bandit leader, mounted on a warhorse, became dismounted by Robin. An intense duel followed. Well, if it wasn't for Robin's faux max that may as well have been given to him at a kid's birthday party, he would have actually slaughtered the bandit boss. But unfortunately, and fortunately, he was defeated and survived.
I'll eat your liver! No quarter for the craven!
After escaping the grasp of his captors, Robin went to seek refuge in a nearby town of Norse culture named Varcheg. Robin hastily went to the marketplace to buy a sword to replace his terrible axe that he already had put to his disappointment. However, it would prove to be too expensive. That was until a tournament appeared, holding the exact same sword as a prize. Robin knew how slim his chances of winning were. Regardless, he entered. Wave after wave of enemies charged Robin and his team. But, as if the stubby little man had grown into a Spartan warrior, he was able to defeat every single opponent, right up to the final wave, and earned himself the prized tapered blade. Robin was so eager to test out his new weapon, he found a group of 6 mountain bandits and began fighting.
On my orders!
However, unfortunately for Robin, he was once again outnumbered and incapacitated. After his grueling time as a prisoner came to an end, Robin ventured off to the nearest town. This was Omor. He spoke to a sword for hire, but after being absolutely ripped off, he travelled back to Epicrotea to find a better bang for his buck. Unfortunately though, after no luck, Robin left Epicrotir, only to be savagely attacked by 5 mountain bandits.
What have we? I'm taking command, men!
Luckily for Robin, he had learned from his mistakes and managed to muster a small fighting force. After being wounded in combat, Robin's men continued to fight and found himself victorious. Now this was something Robin hadn't experienced in a long time. His sense of achievement brought him back to Omor, to attempt a victory in a tournament present in the town. Luckily for Robin, a battle-hardened Robin wasn't going down without a fight. He made his way up to the final round. He placed a sneaky bet on himself, just to up his confidence, and went into the fight, hopeful. Now after his victory in the tournament, Robin slept, for a couple of days. A little bit of off-camera work, and Robin has some better armor now and a couple friends to join him on his Robin. Let's get Robin. Now that Robin was equipped and ready to plunder, that is exactly what he set off to do. He laid eyes on a nearby village named Callias. Attacking this village would initiate a war between the clan, everyone, and the Vlandians. However, this would not deter Robin from his goals. He and his army marched forth into the bustling village and began raiding. Using volleys of arrows, Robin slowly brought the enemy's infantry rank into a forced attack.
Archers, move!
Robin then began sending his infantry to mop up the remaining men. Despite minor losses, however, the enemy still had their archers in reserve. The wounded bandits of Robin's army were slowly being picked off by a shower of crossbow bolts and bodkin arrows from the village levy. After Robin was struck in the chest, a sergeant took command and stood ground until the remaining enemy fled the battlefield. Finally, Robin had achieved his goal of successfully raiding a village. He took the spoils of war to a nearby town to sell off to the market. A week later, Robin decided to yet again attack another village who were producing steel this time. This would prove to be a positive and a negative, as Robin would gain a hefty amount of dinars from this raid. However, it would only worsen his terms with the Vlandians. Impending doom was waiting just around the corner. With haste, Robin and his two henchmen led his bandits through fields until approaching an opening where a standoff would begin between the defenders and Robin. An exchange of arrows began littering the battlefield. After a volley of arrows, a stray arrow had found itself lodged in Robin's right cheek. With the command passed on to his henchmen, the enemy seized the moment and advanced towards Robin's men. The infantry braced for a clash, and his archers were moved to the reserves. However, an army with high morale and will to kill is almost unbeatable. With the turn of events, the men charged the remaining line of archers, and once again, it was back to the market to sell. Robin was officially on top of the world. A new legendary helmet fitted his head, and a safe amount of dinars were weighting his pockets. He was untouchable. Another 6 days had passed, and Robin and the men were chasing a merchant caravan to a halt. After nearly losing them, they re-emerged, and in a bad spot. Robin herded them into a dead end and began the onslaught. Wasting no time, Robin ordered the men into a line formation, about 100 meters from the enemy. The archers loosed arrows, and the infantry lay in wait. As Robin crept closer, so did the enemy. And out of nowhere, the enemy ordered a cavalry charge in both of Robin's flanks. Fortunately, a large number of pikemen awaited the horses' charge and braced their pikes into the chests of the horses. With the majority of cavalry dismounted, Robin and his men defeated the remaining with ease. And finally, everyone was given the charge assault. The remaining cavalry soon fell, along with the archers, and it was a magnanimous victory for Robin, as the remaining enemy scurried off into the surrounding woodlands. The men looted the bodies and travelled to Seanon to sell their loot. Robin's magnanimous victory would go down in history. Robin was officially at the peak of his adventure. He was on top of the world, untouchable, unkillable. He had a safe amount of dinars and a good amount of armour. However, in a drastic turn of events, the Vlandians had finally had enough of Robin's terrorising and were hot on his trail. A Vlandian nobleman by the name of Varmund caught up with Robin and his last stand began. Robin tactically ordered his men to a hill, ready to face the Vlandians' cavalry. However, unbeknown to Robin, it was not an overwhelming force of cavalry that he would have to deal with, but a large number of crossbowmen. The men stood ready, but scared, awaiting their inevitable. They stood beside each other in unison. As the enemies charged, the men braced. They fought valiantly, but Robin's massive nose just couldn't stay out the way, and he fell victim to a blade early. The remaining force rendezvoused at a hill and charged in at the remaining crossbowmen. Many fell and many fled, except for one lone mercenary archer. The archer stood his ground until the last drop of his blood was shed. He fell with dignity and pride. Robin's reign of Bandit King was over. He broke free, but not for long. Another Vlandian army swept him up. And, as if he was Jon Snow himself, Robin stupidly stood there like a plum and was cut down by cavalry. Robin was swiftly cut down by cavalry, after evading a few lances with his abnormally high jawline. With a heavy heart and his hopes and dreams crushed, Robin retreated to the local tavern to grab a drink and a bite to eat. After chatting with the tavern keep, he found absolutely nothing. Frustrated, Robin went to take out his annoyance on some pottery in the corner of the tavern. Afterwards, he spoke to the tavern maid. She instantly tried mugging him off with an imaginary pint of sour beer and dried venison. Infuriated, Robin sat down before uncontrollably unsheathing his sword and murdering the cheeky twat. He ran away and fought some more mountain bandits.
Stop there and...
Unfortunately for him, he realized that he was still useless. He still could not eliminate a band of mountain bandits. Robin's hopes and dreams were slowly being crushed in front of his eyes. His last goal on his journey was decided. As simple as it was to kill a group of mountain bandits. The same buggers who had been pestering him since the start.
Stop.
He swiftly went to test out his new arrows on a band of looters, helpless and alone. They couldn't do anything. These arrows had extreme piercing damage. Robin was over the moon. He couldn't contain his anger. And finally, he found them. No commentary for this. Just watch and enjoy his vengeance. And just like that, Robin's goals were satisfied. Finally, victory at last. Robin rejoiced on the battlefield. He swiftly retreated to the tavern and ran around in excitement. He could finally enjoy his sour beer and striped venison. If you have stuck around to the end, thank you very much, because that means a lot to me. This video's taken absolutely ages, almost 2 days for me to edit, with my limited skill and knowledge of editing. So thank you very much, it means the world. Big ass, please like and subscribe if you guys have enjoyed it, because it really helps me out to know if you like this sort of content, so I can be bothered to keep posting this stuff. But yeah, whatever you guys love, I will keep posting. And if you guys want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comments down below and let me know what I should make next. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.